Thanks for doing the interview.
Oh, dude, thank you. Like, I'm so glad to be here, and I appreciate you wanting to do this at all. And thank you. You're just talking to you, and finally us seeing each other. This is crazy, man. This is awesome. So I just hope
streams.
I give you something good. Give you some good material out there, because you doing interviews here on the Australian wrestling scene, that is a void that's missing, and it needs to happen. And the fact that you enjoy it and are doing that's great, because that is something that is not happening at the moment, and it exposes everyone, and it's good for you, and that's just so cool, man. Yeah,
you get to see more of the wrestlers, what it's like backstage.
Yeah,
heard some funny stories. You guys stole my shoes.
No way, what is that? What?
I was talking to these tag team about how they met.
Yep.
They met by one of them was stealing a grandma's shoes, and he thought, oh, that would be a good wrestler. And then at the end of the interview, one guy walks off and the other guy stays.
And watch yourself at the trainer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Thanks.
Yeah. What size are you, mate?
Oh no.
Oh no, I can't resell those.
Right.
Just go on. I'll be able to tell you now what size they are. And, oh my gosh, the classic.
If you find the shoes, free 2K custom.
Oh well, hey, that's pretty good. That's making me think about it right now. That you're the custom king, man. I can't believe that you put the time in to do that and just making local guys. That's so cool, man. Yeah.
It's like Showerman said, do you even watch his live streams?
Yeah.
You're just making 2K.
Yeah, you just while you're doing it. It's just that's kind of it. It's just something fun to put on in the background, and I'm just doing it for the sake of just fun, And if I've just got that one mate who's not doing anything, it's I'll just do this, man, and they're I'll hop in, and Biff's there, Showerman's in there, and that's just how it started. Really, was just I was playing a game that Biff didn't have, and he was like, I want to watch you do this, and from the Xbox there was a feature, just go live. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Wasn't the best, but it was enough, and we were talking to each other, and I was like, oh, let's just do this, upload stuff. Where's it going to go? I don't know, as long as I'm having fun. And then it's become more of a putting more into it slowly as we go along and see what comes of it.
Yeah,
and,
when my friends used to stream, if I'm doing something, I'd just have it in the background.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it just becomes, I don't know, like a comforting thing. You kind of, it's there, and you pop in, pop out, and that's it. And just any support of just saying hello. That's awesome, man. I appreciate anyone coming along, and you've been there every time somehow, which I appreciate, man. It's awesome. So
without schedule.
Yeah, and just me, being able to give back now, and you wanting to do an interview, then absolutely, man, I'm here for it. So thank you. Yeah.
My first question is, how did you discover wrestling?
Oh man. So both my parents are Irish, and they came over here and traveled in Australia for maybe close to 10 years, and then finally had me. And it wasn't until I was about 8 years old, I went for a trip with them back to Ireland, and the amazing sights and sounds and great things to see. But the main takeaway was that one of my cousins had SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the wrestling game. And it is incredible how many people get into wrestling from maybe everything but the actual wrestling itself. And it was the video game. I thought this was amazing. And then before we came back from that trip from Ireland, I went to a toy store, and I was like, whoa, action figures, this is great. And I already was into action figures. I had Ninja Turtles and Batman, Superman, this kind of stuff, always just into superhero pop culture-y things, and wrestling just is that. It's everything at once, and that's what makes it so amazing. It's real life superheroes doing real stunts, and you're just like, what is this? This is incredible. So before I even left Ireland, my dad cousin was a few years older than me. He was like, well, I'm not even super into this game anymore. And I was like, well, can I buy it off you for $10? And he was like, yeah, you can. So that was it. So I got SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, and then stopped at that toy store, and I picked up a Ruthless Deluxe Aggression John Cena, which was his return attire with the Hustle, Loyalty, Respect orange, the Rumble return gear, and a Batista. And I didn't even really necessarily know who these guys were. I was just, out of all the toys, they looked awesome. And mum and dad got it for me, and I got a little ring. and that was just it, man. Off to the races from there. As you can see, like the action figures haven't slowed down. It's just now they just are on display. They're not getting beaten up as much. They're not taking bumps anymore. But it's awesome, and I have my own wrestling figure federation and playing SmackDown vs. Raw, and then we had All Star. So then eventually stumbled across, knowing it was a thing, but then finding, it's at this time after school, this day. We obviously didn't get it fully live in Australia. It was a few days later, but to me, there was no social media, so there's no spoilers or anything. So, you come home and watch that, and that was just become the new religion, and it was just amazing. And wrestling just became just that thing I was fixated on, and kind of just always having that feeling of knowing that there's no way I'm going to go about my whole life without doing this thing, and there's things that come and go that I always get interested in different aspects of pop culture, and I lore dive into so many things. I get obsessed for a while, and then it's gone, come back on. But the one thing that's always remained is pro wrestling, and it's just the most amazing art form to me. I think it's great. It can be serious, it can be, it can make you laugh, it can make you cry, it can whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it's putting smiles on people's faces, and that's what is really enjoyable to me, for sure.
Like, it's comedy, it's horror, it's everything. Like, I remember me and my friend would just go to each other's houses and watch like Raw or SmackDown. It's a bonding thing. What was it? The Bray Wyatt house over and over to try to find little clues. And I had all these WWE action figures, and we all did a draft before we made.
Sick.
And the way I would always show that guy a new action figure would be my first draft. I wouldn't tell him what I got. Just do separately with each other. I had like my best mate, I kind of discovered it and then introduced him to it, and then I don't have too many friends that like I grew up with that liked wrestling. It was kind of me and him, and then through starting wrestling, I've found other lifelong friends, which is incredible. Do things that you enjoy, and you will attract those other people that are similar to you, and that's the great thing. But we had our own figure federations, we had our own names and brands, and there was a whole title history, and every time you get a new figure, he comes in and jobs out the champion and gets the belt straight away. All these different things. Or you slowly get to a point where you build up, but that new guy, he's awesome. You got to give him the wins and all that. So I still do that in Universe Mode. I'm 7 years, but I remember I was JT. I had this Ultimate Warrior face paint, short hair, blue and black pants, and with the shoes. My friend, his wrestler was Big Red. The tallest he could possibly be in the game. Bald, big red beard. That's it. The generic underpants for the wrestler.
Just Big Red. Just Big Red. That's all you need to be. Yeah, it's catchy. It'll work. And that's the other thing about wrestling, it's like you can make anything work. If you are committed to it and you're devoted to it and you believe in it, that's all that matters, and it will work. It will get over. The silly things. And look, you might not be world champion material, but there will always be a spot on the card for anyone if you're passionate about what you're doing. And people see that no matter what. So
Gobbledygooper will become champion one day.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I mean, there's a 24/7 title. At least there was. I mean, Gobbledygooper could have got that easy.
He did win it.
Oh my God! There you go. Of course he did. How did I forget that?
Glorious seconds.
I should have known. Yeah. I wonder who was in the hood for that.
Who do you think? Who took the belt off him?
Man, look, just based off statistics, I have to say R-Truth, right?
So, how did you start training in wrestling after you found out about it?
Yep. Awesome. So how's that been going?
What?
You say you've been training?
I said, how did you start training?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you did, because I'm waiting for you. You're hopping in there, aren't you? How did I start? Wow. Well, the hard thing is that local wrestling was happening around me, but I had no idea, and I just thought that this is a thing that I'm going to do at some point. And it wasn't until I was at my mate's place and, just the normal hangout. I was 18, maybe. Oh, no, I might have been 17 at the time. And then his mum said, hey, I saw this thing in the newspaper. just reading, she's like, there's wrestling on the Sunshine Coast in Mooloolaba. I was like, wait, what? You mean right here? Because we used to go to, WWE would come every November, October, sort of that kind of Christmassy, but just before Christmas period. And we'd always go to the house shows in Brisbane Entertainment Centre, and that was great. You'd look forward to that every year. And then finding out, wait, there's local stuff nearby, near us. Like, yeah, let's do it, And I don't even know if I had my license at the time. Might have just got it, but one of the other boys were driving, and I think 3 of us went. We're like, let's see what this is all about. And it was in the Mooloolaba pub. It was United Pro Wrestling. We went there, and I just thought, whoa, and that was a cool experience. Just seeing like this is local guys around, and just seeing them do it, and watching that, I just was like, whoa, like I can see myself doing that, And like credit to all the guys there, they're all fantastic, but just it felt more real. It felt like I could actually, the dream was right there. I could reach for it. And that continued. We went to, I think, 2 shows there. And then there was another show at Aussie World. It was one of their first ones there, and was in the front row. And even I just remember distinctively through that show being one of the main people, just to understanding what wrestling is and being a crowd member, and just going like, hey, they're in a hope spot right now. Let's get them going. Let's get it behind, and kind of being that section of the crowd that, and then the workers would direct towards us because they know, well, they're going to start making noise first. So I'll work these guys. They'll get going. A few drinks definitely, helped, in the crowd. And then after the night was over, me and my best friend, I was like, well, we're staying around. We're going to talk to these guys. And then, look, this wouldn't even happen now, but it was kind of in early days, and we just like, do you want to help packing up the ring? Do you want help packing up the barricade? And we stayed for the rest of the night, and they probably thought, who are these 2 drunk idiots helping us out? But of course they go, well, now knowing from the other side, you're going to be like, well, yeah, sure, we'll get an extra hand, because, they probably, doing it all the time. No one necessarily maybe wants to pack up the ring all the time, but when it's brand new for a while, it's great. So we helped out, and then I find out, well, where do you train? Not too far from where I was living. It was maybe about 45-minute drive, and I was like, wow, no way. And I was like, I'll do it. I'm going to do it. And, the friend that I was with at the moment, he wasn't a big wrestling fan, but he just was supporting me as being a good mate of mine. I was like, let's go. And then, going home later that night, and then him just saying, you better do this, man. Like, you're telling me you're going to do it. And then the next morning we kind of wake up, and, feeling a bit dusty the next day. And like, what was I doing? Was that real? I was talking to all these people. This is crazy. I said I was going to show up. And my mate looked at me and he's like, you better show up. I know this is what you want to do. And you feel that, bit of nervousness or anxiety about, oh, I don't know, can I actually do this? I'm like, yeah, I know I can. I do it. And the hardest thing is just showing up that first time. Then from there, it was just easy. It just all snowballed from there. So in 2018 was when it all started, and just found a local training. Sometimes you just got to look it up. It might just be right around the corner and you don't know.
They were at my primary school wrestling.
Yeah.
And,
that's it.
And I remember when I went over to do interviews in person.
Yeah.
I got there 30 minutes early, and I was like stressed, like, oh, can I do this?
Yeah.
And I remember I sat down, I'm waiting, and I see the boss. He's like standing over me.
Yeah.
We walk with him, and the first thing I see is 8 wrestlers. People I've watched. I was like, how the hell do I start a conversation?
Yeah.
Before I can even say something, and this is like far, so it's a long walk. The boss yells, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe. And everybody just started clapping.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Cool. But when you thought I was talking about my training, it reminded me of a time when I was interviewing someone, and I said, how did you discover wrestling? And I said, how did you discover me? They started talking about how they found my account. I was like, stop getting the ego.
That could be your new gimmick. You just ask people for an interview and then just ask them about hey, how do you know me? Tell me about how good I am.
So what was the first video that you went, wow?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, of me. What did you see? Yeah.
So when you made your debut in wrestling, what was your first thought when you stepped outside?
Wow. This is going to be a hard one to talk about because I haven't necessarily talked about this before, but let's just say before I made my debut, we used to have chickens at home. You know, we had a little chicken coop. We had some chickens in there, and one of them was actually a full-grown man who was convinced that he was a chicken, and he had a chicken mask on. He was crazy. He was a weirdo who lived in our house, and his name was Cluck. And he ended up being a wrestler for UPW, and that dude was insane. He was crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, just
and that guy, he was wild, man. He lived at our house for a while. You know, I didn't really like him. He was a bit of a weirdo, but yeah, you know, he was another reason that kind of inspired me because, you know, even though I thought he was a bit of a freak, such a strange guy, I thought, well, he likes wrestling, I like wrestling, so, you know, he didn't speak English, but kind of through communicating it, you know, I got his story and I learned a lot about him. So he went out there wrestling, but it was very easy for him because he had a mask on, and that I would 100% suggest to anyone who wants to pro wrestle, start with a mask. Just do it, man. Just get out there because it just changes everything because you're not you anymore. It just gets rid of embarrassment. It helps build character and confidence because you can separate you from that character, and later on, you know, if you want to take that mask off, you can continue that same mindset because it's not you. You can separate that. You know, you don't feel the embarrassment because it's a character. That's fine. You can separate those things. Put me in front of a crowd as me. I'm nervous as hell, but the stonefish, man, there's nothing to fear. That's fine, you know.
And I've
So
interviewed people with masks. I even remember one. I got a photo with him, and then later, because somebody told me he was a wrestler, and I took a photo with him. Then when I was preparing for the interview, I looked at it. I was like, "Oh my god, it's him! I've met him before."
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yep. Small world. Yeah. So, let's just say I'll first talk about Clark's experience as being the first time going out there. It wasn't that hard, you know, because that was what he wanted to do his whole life. And he had this mask of knowing, doesn't matter, no one knows who I am, and I can just go out there and make a fool of myself because he's a chicken. I mean, how can you take yourself seriously while doing that? So once you've got all that out of the way, it's all easy from there. And that night, he came out, he did a promo, disappeared, came out, had a triple threat match for his first match. Not very easy. Mind you, that is a funny match to have straight away. Then came out at the end of the night because a heel that he came out with and did the original promo against chased him off, had a separate triple threat match against two different guys, lost because the heel distracted him. There was a roll-up finish between the two other people in the triple threat match, and then in the main event came out and then hit his finish on the big guy. It was like a thread through the whole show, so couldn't have asked for a better debut. That was in Gympie and United Pro Wrestling, one of the shows there. So
amazing.
It's great.
One funny thing, when you started, did you see me like looking off to the side, shocked?
Slightly, yes. I'm trying not to do it also because though the camera's here, you're there for me, so I'm trying to keep it right. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm looking at the camera and then you. But when you started, I spilled my drink.
Oh!
It's on the ground.
I'm bad for that. Do we need an intermission? Are we okay?
What's your favorite moment in your career, not counting you making me spill my drink?
Well, that's up there now. That's top 5. Almost just there's moments in ring, but it's almost the people that I've met, you know. Well, I can go back to Clark again. He told me how he met one of his best friends in Xiaoman, and being able to meet this guy and then tag with him. And it's not even about winning or losing. It's never been about that. It's just about seeing the smiles that people have, and then later on and knowing that, hey, like someone might have a picture of you on their wall. Someone is just at least going to sleep that night going, geez, I liked that guy. I liked that match. He made me laugh. He, you know, and feeling that, and just throughout wrestling myself as well, teaming with Biff, another best friend that I have, and going in thinking I love singles wrestling. I still think that is great, and that is a main thing for me. But I've become now to the point where I think tag team wrestling isn't highlighted enough. And I think if you get a 5-star tag match, you know, and I know the stars thing, that's a whole nother thing, but just bear with me for a second. A 5-star tag match and a 5-star singles match, that tag match, if it is done to its excellence, like to the peak, it will be better every single time. And I believe that. And a tag match can main event any single show, and it can be more exciting, more exhilarating. When you have 4 guys clicking, 5, including that referee, you need a good referee. Respect to all the great referees out there, and I've had quite a few bad ones as well. That's why I know. So you get 5 people in there just all locked in, working together. That can be some of the most amazing magic moments for me. Just on the road with a tag partner, just on the way to the show, coming up with ideas, seeing them come through to fruition, seeing it all happen. Just, it is incredible. But I will have to say maybe a highlight would be, Cluck told me one of his highlights was having winning tag titles with Xiaoman, and it's never about maybe what it is, but obviously when you win that title, the crowd love you and they appreciate it, and feeling it happen. There was another match. I'm really bad at show names. I'm so bad at remembering, but UPW did eventually move to Caboolture, and it was one of the very first Caboolture shows, and there was a tag match of Cluck and Xiaoman versus 13 and Pogo, I believe, and that was just a great match. It was just a great time. It was so fun. Another one with of me personally, Ivan Black, myself, the Stonefish, and Biff title together in Rockhampton at War Rockhampton versus Dick Riggs and Jason Storm. We had a beach brawl match. I believe this is what Miami Street Fight or beach brawl, Miami Beach Brawl. My apologies. And that match is just great. And you know, I do think a straight up tag match is where it's at. Having rules and working around those rules is what makes it so beautiful. But this was one of the first times where I got to just have fun and just, you know, there's no rules, just anything goes. And we brought around this whole arena. It was like a former nightclub that turned into arena, and there was a bottom floor, but then there was a stairs and a top row, like a balcony of people. And one of the worst things that ever happened to me, Dick Riggs jumped off a balcony, threw a table through me. I don't appreciate that, Dick Riggs, but still, besides that, one of my favorite moments and matches. So that's got to be up there for sure.
And that entrance was cool. I remember that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, coming down the stairway and it's just so cool. Just a great experience and great guys. You know, as much as I might hate you, Dick Riggs, you know, we had chemistry and it was great. I'm coming back. I'm not done, Dick Riggs. All right, I'm getting you back, man. But great times, you know, and great people, and it all works when you just click and you're not thinking anymore. You're just doing, you know, and you're just feeling it, and it's great, 100%.
Yeah. And would you have a dream match in mind, like any era, like any wrestler that
Just anything.
at any stipulation, at any
Yeah. Yeah. The hard thing is that as you start to wrestle more and you learn more, it's hard. It's hard to enjoy a wrestling match as much now when you think, oh, I could have done that, or maybe if you change this pick, and you're nitpicking everything. But then when something amazing does happen, it's so much more rewarding because you're just like, that's it, like boom, like that is it. And even as far as who's my favorite wrestler anymore, I don't know anymore. It's so hard now because before starting wrestling, I could have known, but now it's just to think of easy, quick names off my head. You know, let's just go the dream of the dream, like guys like Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Randy Orton. My God, you know, like back as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good with Edge.
Oh, yeah.
Wallace, Grayson Waller.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
Christian, maybe.
Oh man, dude! I mean, if you've watched any of my matches, I've stole so much stuff from Edge and Christian. And it's just shamelessly because I just love those guys. You know, it's just awesome because they were able to balance that especially, you know, when they were a team, like a comedy. But then once that bell rung, you know, they're serious, man. Like they are a threat, you know. But then they can have fun outside the ring at the same time. And those would be main ones for sure. Yep.
And how did your
Yeah.
tag team become a thing? Title.
Oh, first off, you're just friends outside of the ring. Through you meet great people, and they're on this part of the card, and you're on this side of the card, and then just being friends in real life, and then from talking, and then wanting to hang out outside of wrestling, which you might think is more common, but it's not exactly. Sometimes there might be after a show. Everyone who's on that show might stay for that night and talk to each other, and there's a bit of a gathering of sorts, and that's always fun. But it's not as common as you think to be able to find that one or two people and go, well, let's we're not even wrestling this weekend, let's hang out anyway, and then you start to find those people, and then we go for a while like, we have to do this, like we have to have a tag, like let's try this out. And it wasn't until we both were wrestling at IPW near Gold Coast there, which IPW Australia is a great company, still going, and
Yep.
yeah, well, there it is, right behind you. Yeah, and many of your interviews have been at IPW, and that's how you found me, as far as I know.
Yes.
Um,
I'm in the
yeah.
video when you debut.
yeah, there we go. Yep. And so we both went there, like, being friends. We both wanted to start there at the same time, not necessarily as a tag team, but we did. We both debuted in the Santa Rumble. I wish I could get the year right. I'm not sure. Let's say 2020 or something, possibly. I'm not sure.
I want to say 21 because that was around the
Could have been.
left. Because that was
Yep.
the last IPW show I saw before I moved.
Yeah. Yep. And then from there, just thinking, well, like, I want to tag with him at some point, but he also wanted to go heel, and he'd been a babyface for a long time. And for me, I'd been heel for a while and was kind of figuring my thing out. And we just thought, well, let's do this, whether it was me as a manager or me as a team. But he had won the IPW World Championship at the time. And through talking to, I don't know how deep I want to go there, but let's just say talking to the promoter, and he saw that chemistry. You guys are best mates. Well, let's do it. And just coming from, companies before maybe where they saw that, but then not necessarily wanting that to happen for some reason, and then, but just, the promoter of IPW just going, well, that's real, so it's going to work. Let's just do it, And then, we slowly started with, we've got different gear. We're not exactly matching and trying to figure out how we want to mesh in the middle. He's a surfer guy. I'm just a slimy douchebag heel, that will do anything to win. And then we found a way to mesh together. And from there, I'm not sure exactly what our first tag match. Oh my goodness.
Was it the big beards?
Yeah, versus
It was that ladder war.
Scorn and Dick Brutal. That might have been the first one. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, that was the first one I saw on your Instagram when I was doing research.
Yeah, I think we could have had one before that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, those guys are great guys. They'll toughen you up. You have a match against those guys, they'll put some hair on your chest, I tell you.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. Yeah, but that is actually not the first match that we had. I've just had this crazy memory. It wasn't titled yet. Back in 2019, myself and Biff we flew to Melbourne and we wrestled at, what is this show called? I want to call it Warzone. I believe it was called Warzone, was the company, and they needed two guys to do a favor, do a tag match, and help another new tag team, because they'd been teaming for a while. It was Cletus. I don't know what Cletus's last name is. My apologies. And Fox. Cletus and Fox. Geez, I wish I could remember their names properly, but they'd been wrestling for a while. They'd been maybe like 10 years on the scene, but now newly formed as a tag team. And that was the first time Ivan Black debuted, and Biff Malibu went out there in I believe he might have had his same gear on, or maybe a different set of gear, and we just looked like two guys that were locals, and we were ready to do the job, brother. And we had a great match. It was awesome, and working the crowd and just feeling that chemistry from there, and then kind of just going like, we have to do that again. Hey, like, we need to do that again. And there is cell phone footage of that somewhere, bad quality, and it's all blurry. So yes, I'll need to find it, and we can look at it one day and talk about how horrible it looks. See that pixel there? That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, from there, just forming a good friendship and saying we need to do this, and it all organically just steamrolled from that point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember your debut, like with both of you being at IPW tag teaming.
Yeah,
Super entertaining. Me and my friends like CJ, so we were on his side.
yeah,
Just entertaining
yeah.
to watch.
That's it.
Yeah, the shows were always fun. Like I remember the Un-Australians.
Yeah, yeah,
They would always yell at us because we were chanting Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
yeah. That's it.
If you look at your
Yeah.
debut, you can see Kiwi yelling at me.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure he is, and just getting anyone who makes a reaction, that's exactly what you want, and you just keep riling them up, keep getting them going. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
And I remember the Wide Bay Toy Tag Team Championships.
Yes,
How did
yes.
that become a thing? Because I only saw a poster of it, and I couldn't find any other videos to explain what I was watching. I loved it.
So at the time, Wide Bay didn't have any tag titles.
Yeah.
So, and kind of awaiting for this to happen, and there was a plan of talking to the promoter and one of the bookers backstage of, hey, this is going to happen. We're going to get titles. Like, we're probably going to get titles, and we appreciate you guys being one of the like main tag teams. Like, we are an actual team, not to play down anyone else, but sometimes it's harder on a smaller indie circuit to find people that are committed and devoted as a team. You might be a lot of two singles guys against the two tag guys, a lot, but we can make that work for sure. And we came to a point of, well, what are we doing here? Because it's great to have a tag match, but then when there isn't a such thing as a tag title, well, why are these guys why aren't you just going for singles gold? And then the booker had a great idea of, well, you guys are just going to declare yourselves as the tag champions because you're the real tag team, and that's what you've done. So we showed up one day, and he said, "Hey, look at this! Look what I've got for you, toy tag titles." And he said, "Do whatever you want with it." Well, great. So we printed out our own YBay logo, smacked it on there, put two little title logos on the side for our tag name. Obviously, clarify that if anyone's confused. Title. There's too many titles. Tidal wave.
Yeah, I always
surfing. Yes, it does make it somewhat confusing. So TIDAL, that is us. So we made a logo of that, put that on the side, and then we are now your YBay World Tag Team Champions, whether you like it or not. And no one can say anything else otherwise, because what are you going to do? Try and beat us for it. And that was good for a while. So that lasted for a good stint, and that was good fun, because not taking ourselves seriously in the point of, because we are the heels, we are the bad guys, and people can point and laugh at us, and that's the whole thing. But then once the bell rings, we are serious, and it's great to have that balance. Back to Edge and Christian again, a lot of inspiration there.
Because I remember when I saw it the first time, I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. Why do these titles look so different? Has to be something important. And it was one of the easiest and most fun titles to make in the game.
Yes, thanks. Yeah.
Because I was able to add AEW as a hashtag.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Those titles did look a bit like two AEW World titles, but I'm not sure. It might have been a coincidence. Yeah, I don't know if they came from Toy World or something. I don't know.
Might sue AEW for copyright infringement.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, how could they?
Yeah,
how dare they?
Yeah, I did really enjoy your IPW run. Like, you versed Ethan Shea, I remember that. You were on the commentary table. And you were just messing up. If was champion.
That was a wild night, that one, because that was actually not a plan. So I wish I could remember the matches that happened that night, but I believe I might have had some kind of a tag match earlier on in the night, and then I came back and I'd gone to take my gear off just straight away. I was like, oh, well, no worries. I don't, wasn't doing meet and greets or anything. There was nothing planned. So, you come back and, peel that off. It's all stuck to you, all this latex, all sticky and sweating, great. And then the promoter came out and he goes, hey, do you want to do commentary? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. And like, now? Yeah, now. Like, do you want to go out there? What? I got my gear off. I'm quickly putting it all back on. I'm like, okay, sure, I'd love to do that. And, maybe I appreciate that, because him seeing in me that a big thing about me was I just don't shut up. Like I go out there and I just keep blabbing, and that's what gets the crowd loud. You know,
I
just
see.
have no shame, no embarrassment. You know, just see who makes a reaction, and you single that person out, and you get them going, and they'll keep going. So then I was asked to commentate. So I think I subbed out for someone. Look, maybe they weren't doing the greatest job or something. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not sure exactly how it happened or what happened. But then, yeah, I got subbed in. And then for the rest of the show, I was just on commentary. And I remember that as being one of my favorite moments in wrestling as well, you know, and then commentating on Biff later on. And that was when Biff turned heel at the end of his match. And this guy who I saw was a great, you know, does everything by the books, does everything right. And so many times maybe that led to him, you know, losing matches, being too by the books, and then finally him versus Zika and Dino, I believe, and then just flogged him with that belt at the end. And this is my best friend, and he didn't even tell me about any of this was going to happen.
Oh.
And I'm on commentary, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, it was great.
That's awesome.
And
I need to find that.
yeah, and it was, you know, and I wasn't supposed to be there, and he purposely, knowing that I was going to freak out, seeing it happen, and me on commentary, because no one had told me of what was going to happen as a commentator either. I'm going, what do I do? Like, because I'm heel, and then seeing that, I guess I'm just like, well, yeah, that's exactly what you would have done. Yes, good on you, Biff. Yeah, flogging, you know. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is where we're going. And you just have to just go with the flow as it happens, and that's what I love about wrestling. You know, 80 to 90% of it is improv, really. You know, and it's awesome, so cool.
One question up. When you were commentating, did they still have the notes on the paper back then?
I didn't have anything. So I was next to, oh, geez, I don't want to say his shoot name because me and the boys, we have so many names for people. Let's call him the One Piece Man. What is the one?
Pirate King.
Okay. I don't want to dox anyone here.
He was the one that got me to
It's been a while.
2K.
Yeah. And he's, man, what a great guy, you know, and I feel like he would have known what was going on, possibly, but maybe not as well. I think maybe that's the promoter's idea. He wanted a genuine reaction on commentary, and that commentary is live to the house as well, just to anyone watching this, just to be informative, that it's not even for later on for the video recording. No, it is going on as you wrestle, which is a very different experience as a wrestler to be a part of that as well. But then after a while, you don't hear it, and I think the crowd does enjoy that, you know, and there's not many promotions doing that. So to be able to be the one promotion doing that and having something different is really cool, you know. But you've got a hot mic on, so they can't really edit out what you're saying, so you got to be careful because it's there, you know. Yeah.
When I was younger, and still now, I want to be a commentator, and I would always get the commentators to sign stuff, and I showed Pirate King a 2K video that I made. Yeah, that was the first one, and he's like, "Oh, this is so cool. We need to show the wrestler," and he convinced me to put it on Instagram, and that's when it started.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Because after 3 years, I saw him again. Because I live 5 hours away from any wrestling show.
Wow. It
makes it more special. And I went up to him. He didn't recognize me. He didn't know who I was. I gave him my poster that had all the 2K wrestlers. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Looking at it for a second, and he's like, Aussie?
It's you! Yeah.
It's like pulling me around. It's like, see, this is the guy I talk about. This guy.
Yeah. That's so cool, man. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Nice.
Just, doing things like that is that, it's crazy because, you know, maybe seeing someone in the ring, you think that, you know, we're all people, we're all humans, you know, and just knowing anyone took any time out of their day to make a custom 2K character or anything like that, or just, you know, just even coming up after the show and just saying, hey, man, I liked what you did, or that was my favorite match, or just, you know, you're funny, or anything, man. It's like, wow, that is so cool. And just knowing I made one person smile or one person happy, even as being a heel, you know, you can still do that by making that other guy look like $1 million. And then by doing the favor, it feels so much better than screw winning a match. I mean, geez, it's good to win some every once in a while just to keep some integrity about yourself. But putting another guy over and hearing that ovation while you're looking up at the lights, you're just like, yeah, man, You know,
Okay, good.
that is sick. Yeah, it's awesome because you played a big part in that. It's all a team sport, pro wrestling. You know, you can go out there, but if you haven't got a good dance partner, like, what are you going to do? If you haven't got a good referee, you know,
Yeah.
you need it all. Yeah, and a good crowd, 100%. You know, without that crowd, what are we doing? We're just dancing in front of crickets. You know, it's not going to be the same. You know.
Like the wrestlers are so nice. Like without saying his name because he's a heel, bad
Yeah.
guy. He would go on Instagram and just trash me before and after the interview. And
Yeah.
I knew he was joking, and I laughed
Yeah.
at him. But the
Yeah.
thing that made me smile was every single time he posted something like that, he
Yeah.
messaged me saying, "Just making sure you know it's a joke."
Oh, yeah, man. A lot of the guys you see and they look scary, they're the biggest softies, you know? And, geez, it might be that babyface that seems like a really nice guy and maybe he's not. You know, it's funny how it works sometimes. You know, we were not going to say any names, but it's all interesting. But at the end of the day, I think the thing that's beautiful is that we're all there because we all love the same thing. So can't we all just get along? And for the most part, we always can, you know, because we can find that common interest and bond about it and find people and friends that you would have never even seen in the real world. Like, how often are you just going to randomly talk about pro wrestling? It's, you know, it's becoming less taboo and more accepted, but yeah, it became a thing of like, oh, you're into that pro wrestling stuff, you know, and we've all been through that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm on the other side of it now where it's like, I don't care. This is who I am. And if you're not accepting of that, that's cool. I will find, you know, the people that like the same. And it just, yeah.
I still remember in school always getting told, you know it's fake, you know it's fake.
Oh, jeez. It's like, thanks, genius.
I remember once a friend came up to me and he's like, so I need to understand, why do you watch wrestling? You know it's fake and it's a waste of time. And I knew he was a big fan of movies.
Yeah.
I turned to him and I just said, whispered, like, just telling you if it's okay. You know Thanos never snapped. It never happened. It actually never happened.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then from how many movies within the first like 20 minutes, you kind of know how that's going to end. But what do? You keep watching, don't you? Like,
yeah, like my friend's like, you know the good guy's going to win. I was like, most of the time, but you don't know.
Yeah.
I remember Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I think the great thing about wrestling is whether it's even already happened and you might even know the results, it's different to a sporting match in ways where if you're into sports, look, some people are very different. They're very dedicated and they might know the result of this sporting match and they'll go back and watch it anyway. But for the most part, look, if we're in the final half and one team's getting absolutely flogged, it's like, I'll turn it off. I don't need to watch anymore. Pro wrestling's not like that. You never know what's going to happen if it's in the middle of it. Or if you do know what's happened, you go, I want to see how it happened, you know, and you're still interested and you want to watch it. And these guys are doing live stunts, live improv, you know, all sorts of acting, comedy, drama, everything all at once. It's just, yeah, there's a flavor of ice cream for everyone in a pro wrestling show. If booked correctly, there will be something that everyone enjoys. And I guarantee that every person on this earth, if you put them in a front row of a wrestling show, like, and they watch it, they'll just go, wow, okay, you know what? I kind of get it. And they might still walk away thinking, this isn't for me, but they'll get, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with my other friends. They sat there, they absolutely loved it, watched a couple of YouTube videos, then stopped watching. We went to the show, amazing, and then stopped watching.
Yeah, that's it. And then, you know, from then on, then they're probably not going to, you know, jab at you for it anymore and poke at you for it because they get it, you know, and they respect it. And that's all that matters, you know.
Like, we all knew AJ Lee was going to return because...
Well, there we go. Yeah. Someone got fired.
But, like, millions of people and me, we still sat down and watched because we were like, how the hell does this happen?
That's it, yeah, and it's still going to be an amazing pop no matter what, you know, because that crowd is like, we are the first people to see it, you know, and you still want to see that. CM Punk coming back, that was another thing, but we still watched it.
When I saw CM Punk.
You're screaming too much. Yeah, that's it, you know, and look, when a surprise is kept really well, that is what makes it even more amazing, but... Yeah, incredible, you know, and that being one of my favorite guys and being able to see him come back and things that you thought were never going to happen again, you know, pro wrestling can provide so many awesome moments and it's just, yeah, it's one of a kind. There's no other form of entertainment like it. That's why it makes it so good.
Movement. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yep, and that sorry, yeah.
yeah, how did you get the name Stonefish? Because I
This
think
is
that's what you're known for.
yeah, well, now I feel like, yeah, at the start, I was Ivan Black, and I was trying to find a thing, and that name, Ivan, that's me, that's for sure. But the Ivan Black part, well, this is back to the Melbourne show. Hey, kid, you need a name. What's your name? The classic, and you go, I don't know. So I go, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And, liking some people in the indies, Seth Rollins is awesome. One of my favorites, as kind of entering that later teenage phase, and you kind of like the heels a bit more and stuff like that. And his 2015 run I thought was amazing. And he was Tyler Black, and I was like, okay. And I think there might have even been someone else that, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll do that. So, and then, yeah, that, and then might have been another indie now. I can't fully remember, but then going, yeah, I'll do that. I'll change it. Like, I'll change it eventually. It didn't happen. And I've heard this so many times later on in wrestling interviews. It's like, oh, it happened to you too. So, but then wanting to find a persona, and then just not knowing what to do, and then joining with Biff, forming a tag team, and going, well, I'm going down that kind of surfer route too. And in real life, him taking me out, and going, look, do you want to surf? I'm like, dude, I think that takes too much effort, too much time to learn it. And he goes, well, look, here's this right behind you. Here's a bodyboard. Here's a boogie board. Just come out. And I'm like, okay, and Showerman and Biff gifted that to me, being close with both of them. And I'm like, cool. And then I do that. And I'm like, well, I need to join into this surfer kind of thing. What am I? And I just had the nickname Fish with them. That was kind of always it. It just became, you're the fish, you're the fish man. And I was kind of always a bit giddy, bit jittery. I was always just a bit, and it was like, well, you're just like a floppy little fish. So being that, and then going, well, how can I integrate this? What am I? And then going, well, what kind of fish is there? There's this, and I'm the stonefish, because that is the most dangerous fish in the sea. And then being more of a metaphor than that, before finding Biff and him giving me even more confidence that I didn't have beforehand, I was letting people kind of just have their way, with what we're going to do with a match, or where we're going to go, or, people stepping on you. And now I'm the stonefish. You don't step on the stonefish, because you're going to get stung.
Right. Yeah.
And that's going to be the last thing you do. So I'm sick of it. I'm the stonefish, Ivan Black, and that's who I am. So, yeah, a weird turnabouts of things, but it feels right now. And it starts off feeling strange, but now it's just, that's it. That's who I am.
Like, I knew you as Stonefish when I was watching. And
Yeah.
I knew Ivan Black, but first I knew Stonefish.
Yeah, and I've kind of been thinking about, I'm going to get back in the ring one day. That is guaranteed. It's when that's feeling right, when that's going to happen. I've been through a period of working away, and I've only just been able to now relocate and been able to work and come home again all the time. So it was a thing of, I have a wife and I love her, and she's my world. She is number one for me. And just not wanting to sacrifice weekends while I'm already away all the time, and just going through life, and that's a whole nother thing. But now being here again, the itch has already started, and it's like, well, I got to get in shape, got to work out a bit more. But now knowing and having that break, I want to be selective, and I'm happy with being selective of where I want to go now, and just going, it's okay. It'll happen when it comes to. So yeah, that's the plan, and I think maybe I'll just be the stonefish now. Who knows? Maybe that's just it. Maybe there is no Ivan Black. I don't know. It's interesting, but something to think about still.
Yeah. My next question is, how did you find my account to be awesome?
Yes! I was waiting for this.
Yeah, I was. Every single time I was like, should I say it? No, I want to do this question.
Dude, you are awesome, man. Dude, I can't believe this. I mean, me just streaming and just messing around just for my friends, and then, you just join this chat and then start talking. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I don't even know if it was first, like, you made a custom of me. There was one of Showerman. I think maybe I even saw one of someone else beforehand. Maybe Biff was one of the first ones. No. And just... that I saw. I don't know. I can't even remember.
I made Biff in the past, but I didn't post it.
Okay, yep.
And then I was following Biff, and I was like, oh, this is Ivan Black, I'll follow him. and I saw in
Yeah.
your story that you were doing a live show. I was like, oh, that's cool. And when I was watching, I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have another wrestler to make. So I watched you do
Wow.
that, and I was
Yeah.
like, this guy's actually really funny. So I watched 2 more
Yeah.
streams. I really enjoyed it. And the third one, I was like, oh, yeah, I was going to make him in 2K. And
That's
I
awesome.
made you, and your reaction is still my favorite. And
Dude,
yeah.
man, just like wrestling games.
Before
Sorry.
activity, so I don't really like it that much, but I still like it.
I was doing my job good then.
Me and my friend, we were watching it today,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
that's not you. You sound completely different.
Yeah.
That's not you. And it was really
Oh.
entertaining. Just you're going, the Shockers!
Oh man, just because wrestling games is kind of where it started. And like you said, the universe mode, from having your own action figure federation and then playing universe mode, you're booking these things and you're making custom characters, and then just this full circle moment of you just made one of me, which I never did after I started wrestling, which I don't know how that never really happened, but yeah, I just see this and you've made this, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I have this kind of weird thing sometimes where I struggle to think about how other people think about you, or like you make an impact on them. You wrestle, and even just as simple as what I was saying before. The last thing, before you go to sleep at night, sometimes you might just be running through things, and you've been to a wrestling show, and at some point they might go, oh, that guy was funny. That's enough for me. And you made a whole custom character. That's insane, man. I just can't believe that. Like, I appreciate that so much, and that's cool. Still never downloaded it. I need to do that and start having matches. That'd be awesome. I can do a career mode.
You went, oh, I'm going to do a career mode. And then later on, one of my friends actually came up to me and was like, did he ever do the career mode? I was like, I don't think he has.
I think it was the 2K I didn't have, because I've skipped a few. Hey, I think I've got 18, and then I've skipped a few, and then 24 is like my most recent one. I haven't even got 25 now, so I'm probably waiting 5 more years, then I'll get the new. It's enough new updates.
I can make it for 24, but the community creations is down now.
What? Really?
Yeah. So it used to last 4 years.
Wow.
Now it only lasts a year and 2 months, and I don't like it.
They're doing that on purpose, hey? Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
When they did that, I was thinking, is there somewhere I can make similar to 2K, but something else, because I don't want it to just disappear after a year. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but so you get to keep it still, or just the whole
people that
store?
Downloaded it.
Wow. Yeah.
The wrestler downloaded it.
Yeah.
I can explain it. So it has 8 downloads.
Yeah.
It means only 9 consoles have it.
Wow. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep, you and then 8 others. Well, it's worth me buying 2K25 alone to get custom. Download them before they're gone. Get them quick. Yeah.
And I was thinking, looking into other games that can do similar things, I forget what it's called, New or something. It's like Street Fighter, but you do your custom people. You can download.
Yeah.
About doing that.
The Creator Fighter. Yeah.
I did a story does anybody know this? No.
Yeah,
I need to introduce people if I want to do this.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. Yeah, there's got to be something out there. But you got talent, man. That takes time and effort to do that, and you've got the fine details in there. It's ridiculous. Got the muscles right too. Looked good. might have did a bit too much. It was very flattering. It was good. I think keep doing that. Maybe even make it taller. Make it bigger.
Give me a big red beard.
Yes, just get rid of my hair, big red.
Instantly sending my friend this video.
Yes,
saying you have big reference, Lucas.
Yes, absolutely. Big Red will never die.
Yeah, you're in this universe.
Yeah,
created. And I love how I actually got a question to, am I the greatest?
Yeah, absolutely. You are. We already know that, but the thing is, we need to let other people know now. That's the goal.
It's what RIP said, legendary's in the name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yep. So, legend.
Actually, looking down, my next question was about the 2K thing.
Yeah.
So I can already take that off.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that is like a personal highlight for me. Just have someone who you and I.
We're just about to see the stonefish We've typed in the tag. Let's see. WWE 2K25. The reveal. I'm so excited right now. I can't explain. Oh! 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 Let's see. Oh my god! No way! Dude! There's a Stone Cold Stonefish! No way! Oh my god! Career mode incoming! Oh! Aussie Legends, you're the man!
To do something like that. Crazy, man. Yeah, that is a mark out moment for sure.
Yeah, I've only recorded four reactions to people actually seeing their 2K.
Yeah.
You were the first one, so it was so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, well, that really makes it better for you, you know, because you make these things and send it, but you don't get a live reaction like that. So
that's why
I'm glad I could
saying
give
in
that
the
to you.
video, this is the best. I can't believe it. Because I actually saw the person's reaction.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
Oh, I did the new commentators for IPW.
Yeah.
The New Day entrance.
Oh,
They were copying the dance moves.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
Probably the one you clicked on because it's the most recent one.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. It's gonna have music of your choice if you want. There's
Yo! Look, just like real life too. Look at that.
Yo, this is hype. This is so hype.
dancing to it.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Oh, so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember because we hung out at that show. The only reason we did that interview is because the interview we did had no audio.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
us like jumping around talking with each other. No audio. I did a test the second before it.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about my mic is I need to get a new one. When it dies, it doesn't tell you.
Yep.
It still has that on button.
Oh, what? Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't disconnect. It's just no audio anymore.
Yeah.
It's not picking it up because it's
That's the worst.
connected to the dead microphone.
And it just lets you know it's like we're still going, but we're not. That's the worst.
That was really fun. Just all the wrestlers being so welcoming. I still remember I was doing a prediction video in the park that I grew up playing in.
Yeah.
And I'm doing, this person's going to win this person. And after I finished, an old lady came up to me and said, what are you doing here? Are you filming the beautiful scenery for YouTube? And I told the truth.
Yeah.
To this old lady, no, I'm actually doing a prediction video for this wrestling show that I'm going to. And she went, I guess that's quite nice. And
how lovely. Yeah. What is this? What are you talking about?
Well, I guess the scenery is very beautiful. And she went, and walked away.
It's moments like that you just feel like lying to make them feel better.
I was telling the story at the wrestling show.
Yeah.
And the commentator said, well, at least they didn't say it was fake. And I just see one of the owners just go,
oh, no.
That's fake. I went, no, this is my first time.
That is, we don't use that word. Yeah.
Yeah. And wrestling is just a fun place. Like, they're just mucking around. And I remember after I finished an interview, I just looked to my side and I see just with a weapon just throwing it up and down. This weapon was good for the match. And I went, where the hell did I sign myself up to?
Yes. Oh, there are crazy characters in wrestling, you know, but you have to be a little bit crazy to get in there in the first place. I mean, I think I'm a bit insane
It's like,
to get in that ring, you know.
I forget who said it. I think it was Pirate King. Again, I have in a history has said wrong wrestlers, so it could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I remember him saying, whoever signs up to wrestling is crazy. And whoever manages wrestlers is more crazier, but you must respect.
You have to respect anyone who gets in that ring and gives it a go. And the fact that it's not even that, it's that there has to be some part of a dream element involved, especially on an independent level. You know, you are chasing your dream. You're doing something different. And the amount of people that will knock you for trying anything that's out of what, you know, we in the world have somehow created of what is the norm, you know, I think the norm should be doing what feels right to you. If you wake up in the morning and that's one of the first things you think about is pro wrestling, do it, pursue it. And I just love seeing that in all art forms, all shapes and sizes. Anyone doing anything different, I might not be interested in it, but I'm happy for them. And I want to continue that for sure.
Yeah, because I remember one time at school, somebody was mocking me for doing the 2K stuff.
Yeah.
And I had that confidence because, I watched your reaction to it. That was the day after.
Wow.
And
Yep.
I was like, no, I know people like it.
Yeah, that's it. All it takes is one person just to give you a push sometimes and just to make you want to do it. Like how you were saying before, getting told, hey, upload that, do that, And it is hard because, sometimes you're on your own journey, but you do need to find these people along the way that just give you that push that you need. Just like me waking up in the morning after that, saying I was going to go to wrestling training and then almost going to back down from that straight away just from being nervous, and my friend saying, go, just that little bit of a push, and that's all we need,
And they were so nice because looking back at it, I was like, they did not look like the wrestlers.
Yeah.
They did not. It made me think,
But you got better.
a long way. Because, have you ever Jesse Love?
Yes, of course.
So I found a tattoo that really looked like his.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was obviously pasted. So I tried to get the same skin tone, and it's like a vampire.
Yeah. Oh no. Just on to match the tattoo skin tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I know it's the second video first video I ever posted. I can send you a link, but yeah, he's just a vampire.
That's so funny. Yeah. You went to effort to do it, man. You're getting custom images and uploading it, and oh my god.
That's life-saving.
Yeah, that is next level, man. That's just so cool. Yeah.
I still really enjoy doing it. I just kind of think of finding something else than 2K because it keeps erasing everything I made.
Yeah, it's just gone. I didn't know that was a thing. That's so sad. But hey, the videos live forever. That's the good part.
Download it and it will live forever.
And that too. Yeah. Then now forever.
Well, if the games don't explode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Protect it.
Yeah. We just need to keep giving them that $110 each year, whatever it is now.
Have Auzzielegends creations, it could be millions.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And how did your gear evolve over time? Because you had that black jacket, and then the surfboard.
Yeah. I guess I went through a bit of an identity crisis for a while of not knowing what's what, and then kind of just starting of the Ivan Black persona of not knowing, well, who is Ivan Black? I don't know. So your first set of gear is just, well, what colors do I like? What do I think's cool? And I really liked a big neon green. I thought that was, it's kind of different. So we'll just mix neon green and black. It's kind of like Shigo from Kim Possible in a way. Like a mix of that. But yeah, and just having found a cool seamstress through other friends and going, okay, well, I'll go to her and I'll just get it. Not knowing what I want. So I was like, what do you think? Or whatever. Or maybe I'll just get something that looks like a bit of a belt and just have, some sharp kind of designs going down from it. So I had that for a while, and I came out with a leather jacket because I was like, well, that's cool. That's a bit douchey. That'll be all right. But then kind of looking back and thinking I don't know, am I copying other people too much? And I loved having the one black glove. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm being too much like Seth Rollins, and then that was a point where he was just about to do in 2020, that era where he started that other group where he was the visionary. Yeah. When he had Buddy Murphy and some other people, and I was like, damn it, now he's actually wearing a leather jacket. He already had the black gloves, so I definitely stole that. But then I was like, oh no, and I'm called Ivan Black. I need to find some identity here,
I could be wrong, but in the Dominic Mysterio match, doesn't he only have one glove?
Yeah, I think he did, and so I had that for a while, but I thought, this is a good heel tactic because I can pull it off and give someone a slap match or whatever. So I did use that for a while, and then kind of thinking, well, I should evolve, I should change something different, just trying out different colors of wrist tape, things like that. But really, actually, I just having a flashback now. My first set of gear was just a set I just bought off eBay, and it half fit and half didn't fit, and that was black in as well. And then I got my own developed from that was similar to that style but different. And then eventually I did form with Biff and just knowing, well, we have to mesh somehow. And I didn't want him to change because he had just got new gear, but I thought it was cool because it was kind of like board shorts that was also wrestling gear at the same time, and then had, you know, tie-dye colored knee pads that went with it. And then he had white boots, but I kind of always thought, well, I'm a kick pad guy. I just want kick pads because I feel it's more comfortable to wrestle in. They're technically like boxing / MMA shoes, but they're, you know, just a little bit cut above the ankle. So then getting kick pads with that and just getting my own, they're actually like were kid board shorts, but then they didn't quite fit. But then I got latex and then cut the sides of the shorts and then just put that panel in to make them bigger and then fit. And then suddenly we're a tag team and we look like we belong together. And then, you know, I already had tried sunglasses and thought, I don't know. And then we were going down that like surfing, but then also kind of like a skater and snowboardy kind of vibe, because we came out with a penny board. Biff ended up having one of them, and that good old Penny, she helped us win quite a few matches. We love Penny. And then I ended up getting these. This was bought by Biff. I think this is maybe my third pair. I've got like another one or two down there somewhere. Oh, there we go. There's the original pair. And that was kind of, I thought, well, that's who Ivan Black's going to be. That's who the Stonefish is. And no one's doing it. I mean, if we look up now, there's probably someone doing it. There's always someone out there, but that is not going to stop you from being who you are or what feels.
I have seen 4 wrestlers with the exact same mask.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And that's just the way it is, you know. But like, if you feel that's good, you go with it. You know, and that felt cool. And I think Biff had the Pit Vipers, so almost like that, you know, but they're sunglasses. You know, people know what they are. But I was like, well, I want to go the full goggles. And it's like, well, why are you wearing goggles? I don't know, just to be funny. And I was like, well, I always wanted to kind of do a frog splash. And I was like, well, I feel like when I do a frog splash, I should put that on because I'm up in the air, baby. You know, I'm sky high, so I need some protection. So yeah, I'll do moments like that and put them on while I go for it. And yeah, you know, just slowly evolving and just feeling like what's natural to you. And nothing felt more natural than wrestling in board shorts, you know, but had made them like wrestling gear as well. And I was like, wow, I just feel comfortable and at home, not wearing tights, you know, and I was never going to be a trunks guy. That just wasn't going to be me. But yeah, it just comes and goes. And yeah. I love it. And I even have designs of, you know, drawing all these stuff. I could send it to you for fun. But before I even got the gear done up, I had just, you know, looked in Google stuff and I just made a little Word doc where I copied and pasted these pants with these boots, this kick pad. And it's awesome looking back on that stuff because you're like, wow, I really crafted that and created it and it just worked.
Yeah, that'd
cool.
be awesome because I'll have like photos while we're talking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what was it like tag teaming over the years? Because you got Tsunami, Showerman, Cool Biff.
Yeah.
Like,
geez, I did have a lot of odd pairings as well. Just sometimes just you know, hey, you're with this guy tonight. But then after have teaming with people for so long, it's like I know a tag match at the back of my hand. You know, we can do a simple one if no one else has done it before, or we can get a bit more complex, you know. And tag matches, you know, very intricate. There's different spots, you know. It's not, you know, you can do a basic start singles match, you know, shine, heat, come back, finish. It's never that simple, but you know, we can start from there and we can evolve that from there. But yeah, I never really even I love tag wrestling, but it was never the main thing for me. But then first it was with Showerman, just having him, let's just say Cluck told me a lot about teaming with Showerman, and Cluck had a great time teaming with him and thought, well, he will team with Showerman because they were great friends. So they gave it a go. And then through that, just finding this bond and just going, well, this is the ultimate form of wrestling it can be if given the correct spotlight. And it's just when you are actually friends outside that ring, then you can just feel that chemistry and it's real. And just having these different spots and having that guy in the apron, getting them going and going for that hot tag and doing different intricate things towards the finish and how we're going to get there. It's just so cool. And I just find tag wrestling, from being this thing that I just knew was there, and now just thinking like, this is amazing. And, I had gone back just to study, watching Tully and Arn, and then watching new stuff that was happening in NXT at the time, the Undisputed Era, DIY. There's just, I don't want to keep going and not mention other people that deserve justice, but, like having seen, everyone knows the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, all that stuff, and it's just like tag team wrestling can be the best, it is awesome. There's not enough tag teams out there, and then seeing that void and going, well, hey, you and me, let's be a team, because we know we can get booked every single show now, because they always want a tag match, but there's not always tag teams.
Yeah.
But if we are one, then we've just secured ourselves, right now we're set. So from there, that was just, it was just a great idea, and it paid off for sure.
I always like tag team matches because it's like so many spots you can watch. It's not always the same person. It's just
That's it.
4 people doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, and coming up
to my tag team match.
Yeah.
Last 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and just coming up with tag moves together, and coming up with new different stuff that hasn't been done before. And I felt like that we had done that. We did create new things, and Clock and Showerman did come up with very interesting new stuff while doing comedy, but keeping it serious, and, the crowd being able to laugh. But then at the same time, we knew at the end of the day, they appreciated us for being, there was a Freudian slip there, them for being talented, and appreciating Biff and I for doing different stuff, and just trying. There's so many different things you can do, and bring back the old stuff, man. Like, look back in the 80s and the stuff that they're doing that they don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff, and you're like, whoa, look at the way that they did that blind tag into that cutoff, into this heat, and it just, what's old is new again. It's so cool.
What it's called, but I like the move when they're like running at each other. They grab on each other and then do a backflip. One guy does the backflip and the other guy did like a kind of front flip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like the most incredible move when I watched it.
Yeah.
And I found out, this is an older move. When I saw it, I was like, that's a finisher.
Yeah, for sure. And anything can be a finisher, if we work it right. That's the cool thing, We're getting to a point in wrestling now where people think that maybe it's good to be creative, but we're getting to the point now where people are trying to be so creative where it's like, dude, how dangerous is that? Can you do that every single night? If you did end up getting signed or have to do that every night, then after a while you might have to think, can I do that to every single person as well? Sometimes just the simple things just work, Cluck's finisher was an elbow to a standing opponent he would just jump off the second rope. It's like, what is that? That's like nothing, but it's the way you build it up, the way you make it big, the way that guy reacts off it, the way you jump and then go bam, if you want to hit that move, it's the way you do things, myself, I just stole a kill switch, I loved Christian, but I just grabbed him and screamed, Ivan Driver 69, bam, and everyone just goes, it's like, what is that? It's nothing great, nothing crazy, but just put emphasis in it, make it your own, do something.
Yeah, like just have that what's the word I'm looking for? That energy and that you being the character.
Yeah.
It's like people be the character and then they just wrestle. But bringing the character into the match.
Yeah.
It's always intimidating.
While it's happening, just keep yapping. Guys like Kevin Owens is a great inspiration. He doesn't shut up, man. He's the guy in a headlock. He's just talking trash the whole time. And that's me. And maybe that was to a detriment of maybe I kind of noticed now looking back that perhaps I was limiting myself to be that, mid-card to opening card guy. And maybe I was limiting myself not to be a main eventer because of that, because maybe you do need to be a bit more serious and, and not yappy, but still have that intimidation factor. There is a middle ground there somewhere. But then I pride myself on, it's hard for me because I feel like I don't have too much of an ego, but it's more of other people reinforcing to me and letting me know, and then kind of just being like, no, you know what? Sometimes fact is fact, and you just need to accept it. And I feel like there was a lot of nights there where the biggest crowd reaction was through the matches that I was having, was through the matches, me watching guys like Showerman and Clock, going out there myself with Biff and Title, and just, was it the best. How do you dictate what's the best? Each person has their own opinion, but I think it might have been the loudest. And man, if they're not making noise, then that's not good. You know, if you're making them boo, you're making them cheer. If they're loud, that's all that matters. You know.
Yeah, like when Biff won the championship, I was thinking, oh, it would actually be fun if you won the championship.
Thank you. You know, who knows one day, but I guess that's the thing. Yeah, I never won a single title, but
Until then, you need a
doesn't bother me.
toy championship.
Well, we had the Wide Bay tag titles. I mean, we had them. Oh, we can't forget about that. We are the true Wide Bay tag champions.
And
No one
your
will beat us
tag
for
team
them.
partner's win is your win.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
IPW.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whether you're even there just seeing other guys that you're friends with backstage and seeing them achieve stuff, it's awesome, you know, and, you know, helping another person in that match, you know, putting them over, that's awesome. That feels better sometimes, you know, maybe to my own detriment.
I always remember when you and Biff were running with the championship. I was sitting at home waiting for a month to actually watch the match. Because
Cool.
I'm in Bundaberg.
Yeah.
From any wrestling show for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Wrestling show in history.
Oh, no. I'm going to have to start my own promotion, man. I'm coming. Coming to That sounds like a nightmare.
IPW was going to a new place. So I was commenting, what about you just turn right and go 4 hours?
Yeah, just go that way.
Show.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I thought driving, 2 to 3 hours to a wrestling show was enough. But yeah, you coming far ways, to see shows is wild, man. But that's dedication. That's what pro wrestling is about. You have to go out and find it, and that's awesome. You just knowing there's someone out there waiting to see a match. That's crazy, man. It almost doesn't feel real to me. That's just great. It's so cool.
I like to know the matches, but it does build up hype when they announce every match like 5 days before the show.
Yeah.
It gets you really excited.
Yeah, that's it. Even beforehand, yeah, having feuds is great. I feel like maybe I didn't have too many feuds per se. You just create them yourself. That's the way that it happens sometimes because, social media can be overdone in other ways, but it's this tool that we have there and you can use it and you can engage with people and you can build up your own stuff.
Shower Man was entertaining. People posts about Riggs get him away from me. And actually, my next question here is, greatest rivals mention the Riggs photo.
Which the photo of what he staring at me?
Yeah. And when I send people questions, I have to edit it because my things are this is the question and then just something that doesn't make sense in the sentence, but I know what it means.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, I think that photo really sums up. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship. He's looking like he's ready to kiss me in that photo. What are you doing, man? But definitely. Having that feud with Dick Storm, we only had one match, but that was awesome. And we wanted to do that for a while because you meet people backstage and you just have a chemistry talking to each other and you're just like, I know we can have a good match because I'm talking to you, you're a normal guy, I'm a normal guy. And the funny thing is about Biff and I, we verse a lot of people, but they always said before and after, you guys are so calm. What the heck? Why are you guys freaking out? Or after that, they go, whoa, that was really easy. And it's yeah, man, just it's easy if you just relax, just breathe. And it's we got this, it's all good. And then less is more. It's just funny guys. I think he's fine mentioning it, Charlie D. One time he just came up to us and goes, you guys did nothing. And we're yeah. And we're but they were loud. And we're yeah. I'm what the hell? That's what it's all about, I don't even think I had that many feuds, but as Ivan Black, I started off, I had a feud with Ricky Rembrandt, and I really appreciate that with Ricky. That was awesome, and it ended with it was either I think it was a loser shaves their head match. I think it was for both of us. It was for both. So either way, one of us was going to, and I had my long hair and we shaved it off and the clip is only half working towards the end of it and it wasn't really that good. And I didn't want to get a full head shave. Let's just break it down there. We wanted to have it at about a number 3, but then coming to find out.
Who went? I don't remember either.
No, but then coming to find out that it's really hard to shave wet, sweaty hair And when you have it on a number 3 and it's not really working and he's trying to do it and it's like, what the heck? And I lost that match and we had 3 matches together. And that was really cool. That was awesome because that was one of the first times where I felt like we had a proper feud. Biff and I, we had a feud with CJ in IPW, and that was great. That was awesome. And I was kind of a manager for that at that time. We hadn't really turned into a tag team. I was just a mouthpiece. And that was so fun. Like, what a great guy like CJ. That was cool, you know. Hopefully have stuff with him again or just around IPW. And yeah, just we kind of had a feud with Dick Brutal and oh my gosh, and Scorn, but that was kind of just little matches here and there. And I think we had stuff with Sorrow and oh my goodness, how can I not remember? You're going to have to cut this part out. I can't even remember who they are.
Not the first time.
Ash and Sorrow,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
I haven't wrestled for a year and I just forget all these guys. But there's so many awesome people that just we interacted with along the way, you know, and just having cool moments with them. It was cool. So there's a few.
Properly knowing you when it was the CJ rivalry.
Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, oh, okay, this guy's really cool. I'll look back at what he's done in the past.
Yeah, because we did end up having Biff had a street fight match with CJ, but that ended up being basically a handicap match with me as the manager that just kept getting involved. And that match ended with CJ grabbing Biff and then powerbombing Biff through me, who's lying on a table, through the table. That was great. It was so fun. Yeah, just fun moments like that it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you. At the end.
Yeah, there is a photo of like mid-table break, and I'm like, I don't even think a body can bend like that. I'm like this. It's crazy. But,
What were you thinking?
I was just like, don't miss, you know. And you know, having heard from CJ later, him going, I couldn't see. You know, you give someone a power bomb, you can't really. You can look a little bit, but it's hard, you know. And then you want to look like you know what you're doing while you're doing it. So, you know, you don't want to look like an amateur bike. You know, he's just trying to look, and it's kind of Biff up there going like, yeah, I'll go. You know? And it's great fun, you know, it's cool. And just loving that moment, like as a tag team, like, you know, we're going down with the ship together. Just seeing that, it was so cool.
But you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Just praying. Like, don't land on my head. Like, anywhere else is fine.
This is what I live for, and this is what I die for.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, for the cause.
Yeah. And do you have any like advice for wrestlers that are like starting or commentary?
Oh man, just do it, man. Just do it. You know, just go for it. And it's like you're gonna fall like flat on your face sometimes, but like that's all it's about. Doing that and continuing just to keep going and getting up, and you're gonna be better. Like you know, making custom creations and you saying the first ones are horrible. Who cares, man? You kept going and they got better. You know, and I started wrestling and it wasn't for a whole year after training that I had my first match. So don't put expectations on yourself of doing it straight away, you know, and build confidence. But then it got to a point where I'd been training for almost a year and I was like, I don't know if he's ready or not. I was like, well, you're never going to be ready unless you just do it, you know, just get out there and you'll figure it out. And if you're passionate about something, it'll just happen. It'll flow for you and it won't feel like work, you know, and once it starts feeling like work, then you got to start thinking, who knows, you know, and it's always better trying something than thinking, what if, you know, and then going about your life and thinking, oh, geez, I would have been good at that. But you don't know. You could give it a try. And then that is the thing that makes you realize, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Just give it a go. You know, it's so awesome just seeing anyone do anything that you can tell when they're passionate, you know, you can feel it. And it's just, wrestling is hard, man. Take that first bump. You might have a second thought about it. I did. You know, I had that first bump and I was like, whoa, oh my goodness, this is what whoa, I'm stiff, I'm sore, you know, be committed. Another big thing is if you're a pro wrestler, man, look after your body, man. Just do it. Do some yoga or something. Like that's what I found, but works different for everyone. Stretch beforehand, you know, do all these things. But yeah, just have fun and be willing to change what happens when you go out there, you know. Like structuring a whole thing together. Look, if you're on the indie scene, we're doing house shows all the time, basically, right? So just make sure that those people are having a good time. And if you end up, just make sure you get to that finish, you know, give that promoter what they want and understand that, you know, if you're not supposed to be a main event guy all the time, if that's not what's asked of you, if you just keep on doing your job well and do what the promoter has asked of you well, then you'll get more opportunities, better things will come. I started as a guy in a hood for another wrestler, and it was just like, it was his goons, his goon squad. Who is this? And I was never supposed to be anything except a fall guy, but you have little moments like that, and then the promoter goes, oh well, he did a good job because all he had to do was this, and he did it, and just little things like that. You just go and just be brave and be willing to be embarrassed and all these things. And a lot of the time when you feel that feeling in your stomach, the difference between it being a bad one or it being like an uncomfortable thing that ends up going towards something great, and it usually is. So
wrestlers start as like lawyers or security.
Yep, 100%. You got to do extra work. You got to do your little bits, man. I spent my time laying underneath the ring because I knew there's a little spot where I've got to run out and attack someone, and I've got a mask on, and I'm just a little henchman for this other guy, And then I know I'm gonna run out and attack, and then I'm just gonna take a big choke slam, bam, something like that.
Like under there.
Oh, it is terrifying. You just hope that for that moment of time that you're under there, please don't break, don't collapse.
How do you know when it's time?
It's hard, man. It's hard because the times when I went, there was no walkie-talkie. There was no radio. Someone could have called us on our phone, but we didn't. It's so loud, you don't even know. So you're just listening enough, and you're hearing bumps and you're hearing the crowd, and then usually most of the time there might be a music cue, hopefully, or some kind of a cue where like, okay, I'm gonna come up now. But yeah, it's hard, man. It's loud under there. Maybe take some earplugs, and you're seeing these boards move a little bit. Like I've been in some good rings, and I've been in some not so good rings. But at the end of the day, it's not a $1 million company's ring. So you're just like hoping
TV you can watch
nothing like that, and you're seeing the boards flex, and you're like, oh my goodness, please, just let me get through this. But there was times where I had a Nintendo DS, and I'm playing Mario Kart, and I'm waiting for my spot.
I know someone that fell asleep.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. You don't want to do that. Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, unless you're someone that likes to sleep with a lot of loud white noise, it's pretty hard to fall asleep when you're just hearing boom, 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 just big bumps.
Just scared.
Yeah. For sure.
Is in the rain.
Yeah. And then looking back now, it's just great memories. It's so awesome. Like everyone needs to do their time laying under that ring.
Did you ever find a cord under there?
A cord, not.
Cord.
Oh, little cord.
There you go. I thought to add little into it.
Oh my god, yeah. Had a lot of time chatting with Swoggle and his mates
That's
under
how
there.
I found the X.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff under there, man. Like sometimes when there's a hole in the ring, that's an entry gate to hell, and there's fire coming up. There's all sorts of things under there. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, man. It's crazy.
But just R-Truth sleeping on a table.
Yeah,
Still
that's
think
it.
the funniest 24/7 appearance.
Yeah,
He goes to get the table.
Sure. Yeah, just on there. Yeah, it's
R-Truth
wild.
knocking himself out with the Big Show.
Yeah, for sure.
R-Truth is one of the best.
Oh man, he's awesome.
Ladders, him versus Paul Heyman at the Royal Rumble.
Yep. Most recently, he went to the wrong Dublin.
Yeah.
Great. Yep.
Me and my friends were doing predictions to see who gets better. I think I got like 73% correct for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. We were doing 5 wrestlers for the surprise Rumbles.
Yeah.
And I thought of 4, and I was like, oh, who would be a good woman wrestler to appear? That would make sense. I was like, what the hell? Just put R-Truth. And its music started playing. I was like, yeah.
In the wrong Rumble. Yes. It's just great. Like someone had to do it, someone had to do the reverse, because it's great when it's like a woman is in the men's Rumble and does some cool stuff. Like that's sick, especially when there was only one Rumble now.
Randy Orton's
what?
happy.
Yeah, yes, RKO City. But let's do the opposite for something fun and in a comedy way, because you don't want some guy to go in there and just seriously be flogging people.
And it was like a
Get,
super serious female wrestler
yeah,
next to it and made it all perfect.
yeah, that would be a perfect spot for the Stonefish. I would come in there, yeah, I'm gonna flog you all, and then just have them all team up on me and destroy me. That would be great. Love it. Actually, I think I did have a few intergender matches at some point, which I think it can be a fantastic match, man.
Yeah.
Especially in ways where you just have a bit of, there's intergender matches that happen nowadays where it's just tit for tat. But I think it's more interesting when we can be a bit more grounded, a bit more realistic, and have that female be a bit like a Rey Mysterio in a way where it's just ducking and dodging and diving and bam, you just got drop kick to hell, stuff like that. And I think that's really cool, just finding a good balance. And I hope, from WWE at the moment, it looks like they're going to go towards some more mixed tag matches. And I think that's awesome. Like that mixed match challenge they had a while ago. Let's do more stuff like that. And let's just, yeah.
Yeah, they have the mixed gender championship.
Oh, there we go. Yes, I didn't even know about that. So that's cool. We're going to find a tag partner. Let's do it.
Yeah. Who was the guy you said that helped you during the matches? I'm trying to think.
Through our matches.
I think so. Or am I thinking of something else that I need to edit out?
No, that's okay. No, I don't. We didn't have. I haven't had any interactions like as a manager or a tag team with any female yet. Yeah, but that could be something fun to do. I think that's always cool, having a faction, having a female part of that faction. Why not? You can have all the belts and you can collect them all. So
8:13 out.
Yes, yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's gonna say in the video.
My bad.
Do you have any plans moving forward in the wrestling world?
Oh man, it's just maybe as much as I seem to think sometimes, like, I might be having a break from wrestling or anything. It's never gone. It's never away. I'm always watching. I'm playing something. So at the moment, it's hard because I feel like I still want to contribute, but not be that guy who's like, hey, he's not even wrestling anymore, so why is he still doing stuff? It's hard because I do want to come back, but what am I going to do? I'm not sure. I do have a select people that I do want to wrestle, and I feel like we didn't fully get around to doing it, but I think this time it's going to be Stonefish's solo on his own, possibly. There could be a tag at some point, who knows? But yeah, it's going to happen. But right now, just finally being able to be home again each day, which I wasn't for a while. That's what was stopping me wrestling. I kind of had to choose between what I loved most and what was important to me. But now being able to find a balance, and the balance is coming back. So it's going to happen. Look after myself, do a bit of training. Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder recently. That was just a off-the-hand thing. I wasn't even wrestling. There's no cool story about that besides me trying to get a cat out of the ceiling because the cat had to go to the vet. It was hiding. I slipped, fell, boom, dislocated my shoulder. But, I mean, the only cool part of the story, which I just justified to myself, is that I popped it back in straight away within 30 seconds because of watching so much WWE and stuff like that. I literally straight away thought Finn Balor. I popped it back
I was thinking Rhea Ripley's also an Aussie. Rhea Ripley's.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. And I clamped it together and went and just felt this. Oh, wild. So before I can't even, haven't been back in the surf yet, so I just want to properly make sure that's okay before I come back in the ring. It's going to happen. But until then, just keep uploading random wrestling content, streaming, just, slowly doing some unboxing action figures, stuff that I've wanted to do for a while, but just never fully got around to. And it's always going to be a part of it because I can just talk your ear off all day about wrestling. That's never going to stop. It's never going to go away. There we go. Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think my obsession is wrestling as a whole and comics. I'm just buying comics.
Oh man, for sure. Yeah, and you'll find that a lot of wrestling fans are into that kind of stuff because it's just real life superheroes, and we both wear spandex. We're doing crazy, different stunts. Gravity defying stuff. Sometimes it's like, what is this? This is cool. And yeah, but behind me, I've got a shelf here, and there's comic books down the bottom, and that's kind of where it all started with me. Is just different superheroes and comics, and from there
The
it just
face turn
keeps
and
growing.
heel turns in the comics, like
Yeah,
recently,
yeah, dude.
The Ultimate spoiler: Wasp turns out to be a bad guy, and Nick Fury.
Wow. Holy crap. There you go. Yeah.
And
Yep.
like the what if Thanos was a part of the Avengers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's good. You can just keep going. Yeah, that's awesome. You can just make anything, and that's the thing with wrestling as well. It can just keep evolving. And that's another thing is just not being stuck into this is who I am. Be open to change and evolve, and your character will develop over time. And that's what makes it awesome is like the more lore you create within yourself. It's so good.
Yeah, and like with comics and wrestling, you got like the collides of two different worlds, like two people that were in two different companies now wrestling.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm reading Avengers versus the Predator. Predator kills the Marvel Universe.
Yep. One that I'm actually going to read soon is like TMNT Street Fighter. That's awesome, and that's just stuff where wrestling is cool. You can book during matches. They can happen one day. Everything can possibly happen. You never know, and just different people come across each other, and it's so good,
Yeah.
Great.
And you didn't say away completely. You still had your Twitch. How did that come to be like? And do you have any more plans with your Twitch?
I mean, maybe a big plan is to possibly not have my Ethernet cord plugged into a potato. That does become quite restricting sometimes. But from there,
Things.
I've noticed in myself that, look, I need to do something. I need an outlet. I need things like pro wrestling or I've always thought about acting or doing something like that, and pro wrestling is that. That was kind of one of my first dreams. You like superheroes and comic books, and then going, wow, these are real people who do that. Wow, maybe I can do that. And then you like pro wrestling, well, I can do that. And just knowing that I'm the type of person where if I don't do something like that, I'm just going to go insane. That's just who I am.
Always actors, wrestlers, whatever. Most of them come from drama class.
Yeah, I love that, man. I thrived in it. Yeah, it was great.
Drama.
Yeah, I did it, and it wasn't until
so many stories from drama that happened. Our performance is literally one of the main performances of the joke is built off an inside joke. He's not gonna like me saying this, but one of my friends, we named the villain Mother his name. It worked, and it was like it was just a joke. That guy can be the mother character. It would be funny, and then it happened.
We
actually performed with the character having that name, and for some reason we weren't allowed to say the person's name in our assessment
because of that.
Yeah, but on stage we literally said his name with mother.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Yeah, I remember we were in PE and we were doing baseball, I think. No, cricket. And he was throwing the ball at me. And I said, you really want to hit it hard, don't go easy on me. And he's like, oh, no, I'm going to go easy on you. You're my friend and I want to make you look good. Well, no, I want you to actually try to get me out.
Yeah.
He was refusing. And just before I hit it, I was like, okay, it's time, mother. And he went, okay, now you get it.
Just go hard. There's things like that when you're committed to it, you're going for it. When you're out there in the ring and something's going to happen later on, you go, hey, look, this is an important part, so like just destroy me, just go for it, because I don't want this part to look bad. And
you just have to get them at that point.
And just get them a bit motivated. And you could be in there with someone and they're not fully giving it to you, or they're just not fully fired up or into it. And there's been times where on the fly it wasn't planned and I've just given someone a slap, and look, maybe you probably shouldn't do that without having talked about it. But I just knew in the moment, like, this feels right. This feels like, and then we had a great match and it was awesome. And later on, I was like, oh, hey, sorry about that. I'm like, no, you woke me up. You got me into it. I'm like, yes, yes, I felt it. And I felt the need to do that.
It's
Yeah.
like, I was watching WWE today and the crowd was chanting RKO. And I was like, are they going to do an RKO unplanned?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when you just feel things like that, you just go for it. And back to drama class, that was one of the first improv things that I did. And I remember we had a group assignment, and maybe 5 of us, and we had our little scene or play, and maybe a 10-minute play, and we'd all practice it. And there was 3 different groups, and we were going to perform in high school, and the primary school was going to come up, and they were younger kids, and they just got to watch for the day. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So that was our audience. And then on that day, there was another person from another group who hadn't made it. And the teacher came up to me and she goes, you can be him. You can be in that group. She's like, I know you've been like, and not fully paying attention because that's their scene, that's their play. And I was focused on mine, but it was like, I know you know enough about what he's doing and you can just wing it and you can just do it. And I did it. And I was in 2 in 1 day and just, improv. And it was great. It was awesome. It was so enjoyable.
Like, one of my favorite memories from doing drama, we had they brought the primary school kids in to watch the show.
Yeah,
And,
same. Yeah,
it was mainly like it's focused on the good guy. It's just the good guy.
yeah,
But the most fun thing was when the character finds out that they were cheating on that character. The crowd went, "Oh!" It
yeah,
was so awesome. And I remember his face. He did not expect it. He comes
Yeah.
in after cheating, and it was boom.
yeah. So good.
Every single time he came
awesome.
out on stage, it was a wave of boom.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
afterwards, the director just went, you need to realize that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there's nothing better than live performance. It's awesome, and not that I even seek it out too much besides pro wrestling, but I've been to quite a few shows and plays with my partner, and you just enjoy that. Oh, this is great, and maybe not necessarily, it's not as much of an interactive live audience thing, but then a moment like that might happen, and it's getting that feeling of the crowd, and they're not even. Maybe it just comes out of them, it's just because you instinctively get that reaction, and it's just in the moment right then and there. You can come back from a wrestling match and whether you did good or bad. You don't need to necessarily watch it back. You might know, like, oh, I did a bit of a stumble here or this or there, but did they make noise? That's what really matters, and you can tweak those little things later as they come along.
Yeah, it was always fun to enjoy. It was like some bits you're like, what are we doing? Like, I got one funny thing. So the show we were doing, it was actually about like these whales. Hey.
Is this because of me, or is this because
No. I am also recording this. I forgot. With this laptop, when it hits 20%, it just goes, oh, it's near there, dead.
Oh!
I completely forgot, and I went, oh no.
Oh, that's the worst. That's
But-
okay.
But yeah, I was on my last bit. Do you want to say anything that your matches, your merch, your socials?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I haven't got too much going on, but anyone that enjoyed this, please subscribe to Auzzielegends TV. You're awesome, man. I appreciate what you're doing. You guys can check me out on Instagram at Stonefish Rips. On YouTube, I'm trying to get that going at Stonefish Rips. We've got cool unboxings there, pro wrestling video games, fighting games, and just hit us up there and give some support. And I'm on Twitch live streaming. Gonna have a consistent schedule at some point soon, but at the moment it comes and goes, and they'll be up, and I'll upload those VODs onto YouTube. So everywhere at Stonefish Rips.
Yep.
Hit us up.
Awesome.
For sure.
And I think this is the best way to go out. Me stuffing up instead of you.
Actually, yeah, instead
Finishes
of
the
me messing up
story.
on stream, dude, I was certain that this is because of me.
Yeah.
I mean, my internet is plugged into a potato after all. Or into a fish. We can say it's a fish. That can be more in gimmick.
Yeah, perfect. I was just looking at this. I see the shower, man. Just trying to find you.
Yeah.
Where would you be? Where are you hiding on this?
Deep in the archives.
Yeah. Didn't make it.
Yes.
Yeah, you're so. Oh, there you are. There's with Biff.
Awesome. Sick.
Yeah.
One of the best things I've ever seen, man. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for that.
Thanks. And
Sure.
thanks for
It's
doing
been a
this
great chat,
interview.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man, thanks for thinking of me, man. And look, after the support you've given me, I owe you anything, man. Anytime, for sure.
Cool.
Thank you.
So the championships.
Yes.
I have no wrestling
The ultimate-
experience. When can I wrestle? No.
When can you wrestle?
No, I said
Against me?
I don't have any wrestling
You wanna-
experience. When can you book me for a fight?
Oh. Well, I mean, first I need to get my own promotion, and then I'll be able to book whoever I like.
And go to Bundaberg.
Yes! But I can definitely show you some great training schools, but they're very far away, so it's a hard thing. But there are things you can do at home to prepare yourself beforehand, man. I did many backyard wrestling and on trampolines and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
me and my
wrestling with
friends always did
beforehand.
trampoline wrestling.
That's
We would
it. And
book
look,
the
maybe,
shows.
yeah, look, don't try this at home. It's not necessarily safe, but I will say it kind of helped me for when I did start training, you know,
Yeah.
a certain amount. Enough that you don't have to retrain